3, 2, 1. Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome. This has been something that's been on my mind lately. Tonight, we're going to talk about sports drinks, electrolyte drinks. We're going to go over 3 that I would definitely avoid, and then 3 that I use. I realize, and we will talk about why. I realize there's a lot of good products out there, and I'm only going to take the time to share these 3. So, hey, listen, if you like this information that I share with you, I would appreciate it if you'd subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and make sure you share it as well. And that would be very, very helpful for me. And it keeps me going with these. So everything that I say tonight is actually on a downloadable PDF. So if you hit the link below, it will take you to my website, to the blog where this will be up. And you can download a PDF with all this information, including to the links of the products that I actually use and would use. So that's what we're going to cover. We're going to try to keep this as short and as concise as possible. So with that said, let's dive into sports drinks with electrolytes, the 3 worst and the 3 best for your health, what to avoid and what to embrace. So first off, what is an electrolyte? There are minerals in your body that help carry an electric charge. They are very essential for nerve function and for metabolism. The main one being just good old-fashioned salt, which is sodium, which has a bad rap and for no reason. What I suggest that you do is get this book, The Salt Fix by Dr. James DiNicolantonio, and I probably slaughtered that. I am sorry, Dr. James. But this is a fabulous book about blood pressure, about heart disease. Salt often gets blamed for those issues when in reality it's sugar and it's inflammation. So before you freak out and say, well, I don't need any salt, I would highly, highly recommend you get this book. You read this book, even get it in the audio version, listen to it in the car. It is truly life-changing. So I highly recommend you get this book. I have a link for it below. So just so you know, salt is definitely not the problem. So let's just jump in right into the 3 that I would avoid, and I'm going to tell you why. Number 1 is Pedialyte. Hey, the number 1 reason why I would avoid Re-Lyte is because it is produced by a pharmaceutical company, and I have absolutely zero trust in anything from pharmaceutical companies. But if you go down, again, applying the rules of reading a food label, we're going to do that here where we kind of skip past the nutrition information. I don't really care about these except for added sugar. Once they're there's added sugar in there, my hackle starts to raise. But go all the way down to the bottom and look at the ingredients that include dextrose, which is sugar. Galacto-oligosaccharide is a prebiotic, which is good. But you get into natural and artificial flavors. You get into some chemicals that are in here like citric acid. And sucralose is an artificial sweetener. And then the nail in the coffin for me is the blue one, which is a artificial blue coloring. It has absolutely no business in being in here. We're going to cover in this video what artificial food dyes and what these fake sugars actually do to you. That's coming up. But Pedialyte is the number 1 that I would avoid. And number 2 would be Gatorade and Powerade, basically commercially available. You can go to the grocery store. It's labeled as a sports drink. Grab it off the shelf. It's ready to go. I would definitely avoid these. Again, sugar and fake sugar are the number 1 and number 2 reasons. But every single one of these is yellow 5 and yellow 6. They all have food coloring in them. Again, we're going to cover what that food coloring actually does to you. And for whatever reason, Gatorade puts glycerol ester of rosin in there. I couldn't really find a lot of definitive information about what it is besides a chemical, and it helps the ingredients stay in a suspension. It just seems shady to me. It's one of those, apply the rules. If you can't pronounce it, you probably shouldn't consume it. This would fall into that category. I put 3 on here as prime, but we're going to cover prime as actually the number 3 that I would avoid. Excuse me, I did not do that right. Prime would be the next one. They put a whole bunch of dodgy ingredients in there. And in fact, I think there's some lawsuits against prime for some of the things that they put in there. Do not consume that stuff. Lastly is going to be Liquid IV. Liquid IV is probably a little better than the others just because it does not have food coloring in it, but it does contain sugar and fake sugar in the sweetened versions or in the non-sugar versions. Plus, these companies like this are going to use the cheapest vitamins they have. So when they start dumping vitamins in there, I scratch my head a little bit about that. So Liquid IV, you know, I see those samples at Costco. I skip them all together. So let's get into, here's the food dyes, the dangers of food dyes. Again, the PDF you can download has this in detail, but basically it's been known to cause hyperactivity in children, allergic reactions, cancer risks, behavioral effects, genotoxicity, which is affecting your genes, neurotoxicity, affecting brain development, and they're bad for the environment. These are definitely something I don't consume. I would not give these to your children. In fact, for church, I actually teach 4-year-olds at church, and sometimes one time they got Skittles and their behavior just went to pot. So definitely avoid food dyes. Dangers of artificial sweeteners. People think these are actually better for them when in reality they're causing digestive issues, headaches, allergic reactions. They cause weight gain. They throw off your blood sugar. They cause depression and anxiety. And they alter your gut microbiome and the possibility that they're actually causing cancer. So like Coke Zero, aspartame, all these sucralose, all those artificial sweeteners are things that I do definitely avoid. Again, this is all avoidable, or you can get all this in the PDF. So let's talk about the 3 that I would use and why. I have actually personally used every single one of these brands. And in the PDF, there's links to where you can buy these. And first off, Myoscience has these electrolyte sticks. I have used these personally. About a year ago, I did about a 140-mile mountain bike ride in the desert. And these saved the day. I had several of these each day. I could tell when I was bonking, so when I would take these, they were definitely solid. What I like about these is where they come from. If you look up Metabolic Mike on Instagram and follow Metabolic Mike, you'll see that he's a very astute researcher, and so he's put all quality ingredients into his brand. This one is definitely trustworthy. Plus, it just tastes great. And he's putting creatine in these now, which I think is absolutely awesome. Good amount of calcium, good amount of magnesium, good amount of sodium. Same thing with potassium. And then if you look at the ingredients, malic acid, natural lemon lime flavor. You see some of these other companies in the grocery store, they're just going to put natural flavor. Who knows what they are? But these guys actually use lemon and lime flavor, those things. Some monk fruit for the sweetener, and then natural, it's like turmeric extract for the color. So this is definitely a reputable brand. They do have an Amazon store, which I've linked to. You can buy these on Amazon. Next up is going to be Redmond's Re-Lyte. So anytime I see a label that says 0 calories, I get a little concerned. That's not the case here with Redmond's. I've actually bought these at a grocery store in Harmons in Utah one time for something. I was flying to Key West to go fishing with my father-in-law. I'd forgotten to take some from my house, so I stopped at a grocery store. I bought some of these. I've linked to, again, in Amazon, there's a link there. You can check these out. But in all of their ingredients, they're all clean. They're all reputable. I think this is a great product. Definitely you can use this for our Metabolic Reset program. I have no problems with that whatsoever. So there is an Amazon link for that as well. So check it out. And then lastly is Element. I feel like Element has done a really good job of putting in good ingredients. They're local for me. I live in Idaho Falls, Idaho. These guys are just up the road in Big Sky, Montana. I've appreciated the support they give for guys like me. But it's a great product. There's no junk in here. I'm happy to see that they actually changed the labeling, because it used to say just natural flavors. Now they're actually saying what the flavor is. So I'm happy to see that. So Element, probably my go-to, because it's the easiest for me to keep these in stock. I actually sell these off the front desk in my office to the people that are on my weight loss program. So we do have Element in stock. I did give you a link down below where you can actually buy it online. But I'm really happy with the flavor of these as well. So there you go. There's 3 of the electrolyte drinks to avoid. There's 3 to definitely use. Everything will be in a PDF format below. Make sure you download that because all the links will be there as well. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for sharing my videos. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks a lot.